Welcome to the March meeting of the Acquisition SIG for koha-US user group. Everybody, welcome. I hope you're all doing well. For this meeting, the first thing I want to do is just kind of go around and introduce everybody so that we all kind of one of the main reasons for these groups is to make connections and to encourage communication after the meeting is over, and to help each other out and answer each other's questions. So I don't want to be just the talking head here. I want to get people involved. So I will start, and then I will call out people by the order of them on my screen. And then we will just introduce yourself, give us your name, the library that you currently work at, your position there, and how long you've been on Koha, or when you plan to go live on Koha, whichever one is more appropriate. And then we'll go from there. So I'll start. My name's Rhonda Kuiper. I work at the Round Rock Public Library. I'm manager for technical services and collection development, and we have been on Koha since April 4 of 2016. So first on my screen is Alex.
Hi there, I'm Alex Carver. I'm the software analyst and admin for the Ramapo Catskill Library System in New York's Hudson Valley. I'm just a student of acquisitions. Our go live date for Koha is August 5th. So I'm just here to listen and learn and try to foresee problems before they occur. Right. You want me to pick someone else, or do you want to keep picking, Rhonda?
Oh, why don't you pick somebody else and we'll just make sure everybody gets picked.
All right, I'll go with Chanel.
All right.
Hi, I'm Chanel from the Yavapai Library Network in Arizona. I'm the systems librarian here, and we will be going live on Koha in mid-June.
Okay, that's good.
Jane.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jane Kirkland. I am the Technical Services and Collection Development Manager at Westlake Porter Public Library in Ohio. And we just went live with Koha in November.
Okay, welcome, Jane.
Thank you.
And if you can pick the next person.
I will pick Barbara.
All right.
Hi, I'm Barbara Johnson, Library Manager at Bedford Public Library in Texas, and we have been on Koha since October 3rd of 2016. George.
I feel like I'm watching Hollywood Squares. I'm George Williams. I'm the NEKLS Search Catalog Coordinator at Northeast Kansas Library System. NEKLS has been on Koha since 2008.
Okay. And next, you want to pick?
Oh, sorry, I forgot that part. The next person that hasn't been called yet is Chris on my screen.
Hey, I'm Chris Becker. I'm from the Jackson County Library Services in Southern Oregon, and I'm the ILS administrator, and we've been on Koha since April of 2021.
Okay. And then you want to pick the next person?
And then Jason.
I'm Jason Robb. I'm the Seek and Find Coordinator at the Southeast Kansas Library System, and we've been on Koha since 2008 as well.
Okay. Pick the next person?
No. I'll go with Kristen.
All right.
Hello, I'm Kristen Ortelli. I'm the Library Systems Manager at the Santa Fe Public Library in Santa Fe, New Mexico. We have been on Koha since June of 2021. Who hasn't gone yet? V. Escobar?
View is installed.
Oh, hi, my name is Victoria Escobar and I work at the Altadena Public Library. I'm the library technician and I manage the acquisitions here at the library, and we have been with Koha since 2017.
Oh, okay.
And Kristi.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kristi Ballesteri. I am in acquisition at the Monterey Public Library in California. I've been on board since 2019, and we've had Koha since before then, so I'm not sure when we transitioned over. But anyway, love coming to the group. I haven't been here, feels like, for a while, and it's just fun to come together, especially when there are upgrades to troubleshoot and put all of our minds together to come up with solutions. So nice to be here. Thank you. And then who's on is the koha-US person? That would be the next person, I think.
Yep. Yep. Okay, that's Kristi.
Oh, she doesn't have the microphone.
Oh, okay. So I'll yield the floor. Okay. All right. Well, welcome, Kristi. Okay. Before I forget, I wanted to put a plug in for koha-US conference. What is it? The proposals for presentations is open now. So if your library has something that, you or somebody from your library would like to present, and you would like to spend a week in Round Rock in August, go for it. We're waiting, we're looking forward to having presentations on all kinds of topics, and try and come up with a topic that you think other libraries would find interesting and useful, and just submit that. I think what the deadline is, the end of the month, if I'm not mistaken, and we'll get that
April 2nd, I think.
Oh, April 2nd. Okay. All right. Super. And then we can see you there. Coming to the conference is also a great way to make connections and figure out, what other libraries are kind of like yours, and you can ask questions and all that good stuff. So, and it's just a great place to learn more about Koha. You always learn something at the conference. I've always learned something at the conference. But I wanted to make sure I got that plug in before we finish today. So first of all, does anybody have a question that they would like us to talk about? Something that you've run into? Anything?
I have a bug.
Oh, yay. We love bugs. What's your bug?
It's 30546. And this is when you are receiving items, not EDI or anything like that, just regular receiving. And you get to the parcel PL screen, and you've got all these different titles on the screen. And if you sort them by title in that column, it does not ignore the articles. So it sorts by A and D, and I find it, and my assistant finds it really frustrating. So I opened this bug back in 2022. I'm the only one on it. And I looked at it again today, and I see there was a previous bug, which is 29570, which makes it look like this issue was solved, and in at least 2205, but I'm not seeing that it's solved. So if this is something that affects your work, it'd be great if you could comment on this and put in there, yeah, me too, and it really should ignore the articles when you're sorting for efficient receiving.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, and we've talked about commenting on Bugzilla before. You know, if you don't have a login, it's real easy. You just submit request for a login and you get your login, then log in, and then you can comment on them. You can vote. There is a, oh, there used to be, where is it now? Huh, I don't see the vote thing anymore. Anyway, and you can also copy yourself, add your email to the list of people that get contacted every time there's an update to that particular bug, so that you can kind of follow along and track the progress of the bug. So that is a great way to move acquisitions forward, is to us to get together and you know, that bothers me that there's no vote.
The
You should
vote
see vote next to the row that says importance.
on the
right-hand
left.
side.
Oh, there it is. Okay, yeah, I was looking right past it. And I think, what is it, 10 votes per bug or something like that you can do, and you have a total of 200 that you can spend. And then once a bug is fixed and completed, you'll, if you voted for it, you'll get those 10 votes back and you can vote on something else. But that helps the developers know who's interested, you know, how much interest there is in a particular bug or development, whatever. So that is a great thing to have.
And then Kristi asked what information is in that column. So the summary column has the title, the author, and the ISBNs. And it used to sort properly. It used to ignore the articles, and back in 2022, whatever version we were on at that point, it stopped working that way.
Okay. Yeah, that seems really annoying.
It is.
Along those lines, I know that I sent out an email to the group about receiving. It was supposed to be easier with this new release, and Barbara, I think you said you found it, that it is easier. And I'm kind of avoiding it like the plague, because it seems like many more steps for me, that it's not an easier process. Can someone like demonstrate or tell me how it's an easier process for them to receive multiple items?
Yeah, I can pull up the Koha demonstration site. I don't know if there's anything to receive. We might have to do that, you know, order a couple of things. But can't hurt to watch that process either.
I agree with Kristi, and also I find that it would have been great if they had it like a select all.
Yeah.
Like if you're non EDI and you have about 50 items to receive, you still have to click one by one.
Correct. I think that's where I'm kind of stuck. It's like, how is it? It doesn't seem easier. It seems more work for me, actually. And
Yes,
I feel like I'm
yeah.
missing something.
Okay.
But I'm stuff that's going on.
All right.
What's about the keyboard not
Looks
working? It was definitely, it was more that she was clicking different.
From an existing record. Oh, what's something? All right, we're going to get one more of these. So I'm just adding item from an existing record, if I can click on this. So this is a basket. If you're doing purchase suggestions, and you could add a user to notify on receiving if you wanted to do that. The most important thing is to set the not for loan to ordered, and the koha item type to whatever, I assume it was a book. And those two are really important just for end user experience. And then add the item. And then if you come down here to the accounting details, you'll see that the quantity has been updated to 1 because I added that one item. That was something that was kind of a gotcha for us. We were trying to type into this field and it wouldn't let us, but you have to go up here and add the item first. The fund is, we'll say, yeah, that's about the only choice we have is fiction, even though I don't think it was. You can put your vendor price in here. We're going to say, fat fingers, $26. And based on the defaults that we have set up, it bills all these prices. I'm not sure why. Oh, I was messing around in here. It's actually set up to use the Indian rupee as the currency. So oops, I was going to change that before we started. So I'll save this. And here we've got, yeah. Anyway, so we've got 2 things that we can receive. Do you think that's enough, or do you want to do more, Kristi?
Well, I mean, I don't think we're gonna be able to do 50 like we had
Like you
mentioned,
do,
but
yeah.
do
3 or
so
4.
This is fine. I mean,
Okay.
it's just, I know you have to keep clicking next, and I'm just trying to figure out, like I said, it's a lot of clicks for me when it's multiple. This is gonna make it seem like, oh, this is easy, but for demonstration purposes, this is fine.
Okay. Okay. All right. So then I'm going to close this basket. And then, all right. Let's see. All right, so the basket is closed. We see
You have to receive shipments back on the
the previous
vendor level.
Yeah. So up here, receive shipments. So we click on this. We give it an invoice. So we'll just do today's date for the invoice. Shipping cost. These 2 fields are not required. The only one that's required is the vendor invoice. So you can put in a shipping cost, and then if you have a separate fund for the shipping costs, you can put it in there.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but right there, I don't usually have shipping costs, and I actually had 2 things come in. I think they were from Amazon, and I put it at this level, and it didn't come out on the invoice level. I had to re-enter it on the invoice as an adjustment, or it just wasn't populating. So I don't know if anyone's experienced that, but that seems new.
Okay. So run that past me again. You didn't have a shipping cost, but you put a value in here?
No, so I was saying I normally don't have shipping costs from our vendors, but I was ordering from Amazon, probably from a third party. And so I did incur a shipping cost on a few orders, and I did enter it here and put the fund in. But then once the basket, I closed it, I went to the invoice level. It didn't bring this cost and fund over to the invoice. I had to re-enter it at the invoice.
Okay, so let's put, we've got $2 of shipping, okay? And I think this was the fund I used before. So we'll see if it shows up. All right. Okay. Yeah. I guess I clicked on, okay. Create new invoice anyway, or would you like to receive on an existing invoice? Okay, so here we are. So Barbara, you do this way more than I do. You want to talk us through this and I'll be your hands?
So we take our invoice and find our titles and click those check boxes on the left-hand side. And basically at this level, we're checking the title and the cost. So then we check off everything and then we go down to the yellow button down there that says receive selected. And then when they come up at this level, we click the edit button over on the right-hand side. And then you can either click the receive checkbox way over there on the left, or you can, I guess it's, enter in the number in the quantity received. And because we basically have checked everything off on the previous screen, because we've already verified our titles and our costs and our quantities and whatever, we just click through. Click, 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 next, click next, click next, click next, until we get to the end.
So you can do this. We verified it. There's not a next order, so we save changes. And
Confirm.
all right, so those are, we see those two titles have been received. And then you do finish receiving.
Yeah, and you don't see any shipping or anything or processing at this level. You only see it here at the end usually.
See, so it's not populating at the top, like I mentioned.
Yeah, you should see it down here, which you're not seeing.
Yeah, maybe I should file a bug, if everyone else is experiencing it as well.
Yeah, because it should be, right, Barbara, this is total plus whatever adjustments you added, plus that shipping cost
Yeah,
should be here.
and we don't have shipping, but we use that field for our processing cost.
Yep.
And my assistant has not brought up to me that it's not showing, and I know she absolutely would.
Yeah.
So is there any kind of setup that has to happen for that field to work? I can't recall.
Yeah, I don't remember that being true.
Are you supported by Bywater, Kristi?
Yes.
I would start with them with the ticket.
Okay. Thank you for demonstrating that. I guess to me, it's like one of the same. I get, Barbara, like, so whoever's receiving these items manually, you're checking the title, you're doing that all first. So if you have 50 items, you're checking prices. That's where your true work is coming in. And then I just feel like it's still, and I just do it at the individual level because it's easier for me than looking through 50 items. I'll just, look for a certain title, like you had said, it's sorted, or put it in the search bar. And then, yeah, I don't see it as that much easier. I thought it was going to be like some big life-changing event.
I guess where a difference could be in our process is we assign a PO number to all of our orders, and we place it's both in the bib record and it's also the basket name, I guess, really. So we go and search by the basket name, and then that kind of brings up a subset. So to us, it's like a little bit less searching for titles. I don't know if that is any different or better or worse than other libraries' processes. But I was confused the first time I used it that I did still have to, I'm trying to think. There was like more clicking than I did expect when I first started using it. But I still think it has helped us.
Okay. Does anybody have any other questions related to receiving? It looks like, I didn't see this down here, but there's just trying to decide this, you know, there's more of them here, but it would just be that same next kind of thing that you would do to receive. Any other questions that anybody has?
I don't have any skin in this game, but it sure does seem like that could be less clicks. So like one suggestion I would make is like if you get to that table before you're going through next, why couldn't that have the check boxes and the quantities received like all on one page?
Mm-hmm.
So like I think the suggestion I would make is if you can come up with how you want it to look and like wireframe it out, like make a little screenshot and draw what you want it to look like and put that in a ticket as an enhancement request, that might help the developers understand why it's good, but how it could be better, that sort of thing.
Right. Oh.
Yeah, I think when I first did it, my expectation was by clicking the boxes on the first screen, that would be it. That I had received it at that point, as opposed to having to look at the more detailed part of it.
I think that was my impression too.
So
would you mind like receiving like through the search bar, like where you are?
Yeah.
And just show how it's different or not different. I'm just looking for feedback.
Okay. So
See, this is the part that I mean, like, see, like if you have 28, in this case, you have 67 items, you will still have to go one by one to receive all of them. But if we had the little select all, and let's say 2 of them didn't come in, you can uncheck those 2 as opposed to having to check 65 of them.
mm-hmm.
And I agree with Jason too, like if that would take us to the next screen that should show the edit, we didn't have to click on the edit on each individual one and then next.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It does seem like more steps, more clicks somehow.
Yeah. Okay. So
another thing to be aware of is that when you're doing that batch receiving, it will only do 20 items at a time. So I tried to go in and I was successful in making it show more than 20 items. And I went to receive 25 items. Did the 20. So there's something in there that's like limited it to just the 20. So if you had an invoice of 100, you would have to do it in parts. And we normally don't do that many at a time anyway, but there is a bug for that. So
okay. So Barbara, you said that you have like your baskets. Oh, this one looks like all of them are testing, right? So that didn't really help me much. To limit. Okay, so just to make sure we're all on the same page, whatever page that is. So instead of, like Jason suggested, on this page, we can verify the quantity, we can verify the price, we can verify the fund and the title, of course. And then what you're saying is if we do the, in a perfect, you know, in a different world, we would check this and that would be our indication that we're good to receive it. And then, you know, just click these, or was it, I forget who said, you know, there would be like a select all button up here, and then you could uncheck a couple if they hadn't come in, but you would get a bunch of these in, and then have.
And Rhonda, along with that, it seems like as you're checking things, obviously sometimes you get something and it isn't the price that you have in there, so you have to change it. So it seems like on this screen, it would be nice to have, you know, an edit so you could get to that other screen with the detail. Change
Yes.
the price to what you're actually getting charged. Because you do need a way to get to those, and it would be nice to do it as you're going through, as opposed to like not checking it and having to remember to go back to the ones that were different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It seems like you almost need two buttons. So like you should have one button that's just receive these. I checked that box. That all looks good. I want to receive them. And another one that does what it does now, where it's like I want to edit these in a batch.
Okay.
So
So-
if you manually receive one of these, Rhonda, like just you can pick the top one. So we usually, just for those that don't know, we put in a search bar where Barbara put in testing.
Mhm.
And so you have a book on your invoice, let's say has Tiger on it or something. So we'll put that in, and then it should bring up, you know, the list of whatever has Tiger. If there are two, you'll get two. And then you manually receive on the right side where it says receive or transfer. Yeah, we click on that and it'll bring you to the screen, this screen. So you're essentially receiving one at a time. You still have to click the receive button on the left, and then confirm, make sure the pricing's right and confirm, and then it'll bring you back to the list again. And it'll show that you've already received one, and then you would have to delete what's in the search bar, and then your whole list comes up again. So again, it's kind of, to me, it's kind of almost the same process. It's just like, when are you checking the prices? Are you checking it here? Are you checking it on the individual level? It's still kind of a lot of clicks. So I didn't think it was a great modification. Like, again, that they were saying, oh, this is wonderful. And I haven't been using it just for that reason. So.
Yeah, so you're searching on the individual titles. I think what Barbara's searching on the baskets, maybe.
We go over to the basket search on the far left-hand side, and we see, you know, like we'll get an invoice in, and for whatever basket it has, you know, 25 items. So we limit it to that and deal with those items. And then the next thing on the invoice is a different PO. So we search for that basket and get those items. So we're limiting it. Instead of having to search title by title, we're limiting it to what the PO is, and then looking for the titles within our PO/basket.
Mm-hmm. Oh, something went wrong. Okay.
But to add to what Jason was saying, if we could modify, because in order to change the price, if the price is different, you have to have the basket open, then modify the item. And that's where you change the price. But if it was on this screen right here, as opposed adding the select all and also a modify button that we can click on it for a specific title, you know, then we could change the price in there and then be able to receive all, as opposed to having to go one by one again and next to next.
Yeah.
Because you can change the font after you received, but that you only select like from fiction to mystery and, you know, different fonts, but not really change the price of the item.
Yeah, the only time you can really change the price is if, you know, when you go in.
The basket.
Well, you can do it from here. When you get this screen, you can change the price here. And that should affect it. And I don't think you have to open the basket again to do that. I don't know if that makes.
Yeah, that's correct. You could change the price and actually the fund if if you had put the incorrect fund in the beginning, you can change that as well.
You want me to do that? Still working on it.
And we did.
You want me to do something? I mean, anything that's down like this, I'm already done. Okay, that's good. That's what I do. Oh,
You can go down
these ones here
and see that we've got the
they're done. At the bottom.
prices that I changed it to here. So the estimated cost is what was originally there. The actual cost is what I changed it to. And the invoice reflects that.
So I didn't think of this, but Barbara, Rhonda, when you were in receiving those items, there were actually 2 items for you to check because you had multiples.
Yep.
But I'm thinking along the lines of, what if those 2 items came in and they were different prices? Now I'm thinking that would create a problem because it's only, or I guess I'm asking, it seems like that would create a problem because there's only one screen to adjust the pricing for both.
Let's see, let's try something here. Let's find one that's got multiple.
I think you would need to probably receive one, adjust the price, and then leave the other one, and then go back to receiving the next one and adjust the price on that particular item.
So if I did, we got it on sale here, so it was great because we only paid $10 for it. Yeah, I think you'd have to receive this one because I was thinking, oh, what did I do? 2 dots. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I think you're right. We'd have to receive this one. There it is. And then we would have to go back and receive this other one that we didn't get this super duper price on. We had to pay $30 for this one because we had to pay 24 for this one. So then we have one at $24 and one at $10. I think that's the only way you can change the prices or receive 2 items that have different prices.
So Barbara, how would this work when you're receiving the multiples at once? Would it allow you to do this, or would you have to receive individually like Rhonda just did?
I don't know because we don't get things with different prices hardly ever. I mean, whatever the price is, when the items come in, they're all that price. I can see where it would happen, but it's just not something that really happens for us. So we get 3 copies in, they're all the same.
Okay, so we have ideas for an improvement on the improvement. So I want to make sure, does somebody want to volunteer to open this ticket in Bugzilla? Otherwise, I can do it, but I want to make sure I get it right. When I open tickets in Bugzilla, I always throw in there the acquisitions group, SIG from koha-US, this is what we discussed, and there were, however, 12 libraries represented or whatever we can do. And just to give it some extra weight, and then I can send out to the group the bug number, and then everybody can jump on it and vote for it and do all that kind of stuff too, just to help them understand that this is important. So if I say, now, this is basically everything that we would see on the second screen is visible here, correct? The replacement price, the unit cost, the fund, and the title, of course. That's everything that's there, right? Or should I try and receive one? So glad you created this big thing, Barbara. All right, so the date received, that only gets changed in weird circumstances. The fund, the quantity, and the replacement price and the actual price. All of those. So if I throw in, I don't know if this shows up. Oh, I probably can't do it at this point, can I? Internal note. Oh well, I'll just make that go away. So all the information we need is on this screen to confirm. So we would like to be able to have a button at the bottom where every time we do what we check, put check marks in the check boxes for the ones we want to receive, that we've confirmed that everything's right. And then the button at the bottom would actually receive. It wouldn't go to another, it would take us to the screen where it shows us that these things have been received, basically back to this screen, and we would see already received. Is that working for everybody? Just that part of it? Okay, I'm not hearing anything. Okay, part B.
Yes, that
Okay.
would work for me. Thank you.
And then part B is, oh, the price is wrong, or the fund is wrong. I need to modify it. So then I heard kind of 2 things here, and maybe they were the same. One was check it, and there's a button down here that says modify and receive or something like that. And then you would get taken, basically the process that happens right now. You get taken through, for everything that's checked, you would get taken through that screen. The other idea I heard was to have some kind of edit button for this particular one, for each item, or maybe edit as an option over here. And then you click on it, it would take you to that screen with the in this case, you know, the red bar screen, and then you would modify it, save it, and then come back here, and then you could receive it. Were those kind of the two options that I heard?
I don't know if it's even possible, but it would be even nicer if you could just edit within this table. So like you click in the table cell
Yeah.
and say, I need to change the price.
Oh,
And then when you click the button, it grabs that update.
okay. So first choice, click right here, and it would make that an editable thing. And then you just make the change and then click off it or something, and it would save it.
I think that's going to be a much more complex development. Although I think that's the best idea, Jason. I'm just thinking of where these things live in baskets. So yeah, that would be first choice, but I think that's going to be lengthy. So I think the other two options may be an easier fix. So we should offer all three.
Okay. So first choice would be just click in the cell, I'll call it. I'll try to explain that better in the ticket. And then second choice, what do we want that one to be? Would be an edit option under receive and transfer. Do that.
When you click on receive, can you, I don't think I've ever tried it. Can you change prices and quantities without actually receiving?
I think you would end up receiving it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because otherwise you're canceling. You either
Yeah,
receive or
it's either-
confirm or cancel. So it wouldn't change it on this level.
You could, yeah, you could change the price, but then you would have received it.
Yeah, that's,
And then, yeah, so. Yeah, the one that makes the most sense would be, you know, to be able to click into these fields and switch, you know, change them out. This one, it could just be a drop down, like in other places. And, you know, you could always have the option to do the receive and, you know, change anything else. But the things that would get, would be wrong most frequently would be the price and the fund. Is that true? That's just
Correct.
kind of my experience. Those are the two things that would get changed the most often. So do the edit option, and then 3 is the basically the way it works now.
I thought you said one of the options, Rhonda, was a button at the bottom. Did you already get that one?
Yeah, that's basically how it works now. You know, it would just be you click all the ones that you want to modify, and then have a button at the bottom that says modify and receive or something like that.
So essentially you'd be given the choice to check, let's say you're receiving 20 items, 15 are correct. You check all the boxes, say receive and confirm and receive, and then the 5 that are not correct at the bottom, you would check all the ones that are not correct, and you would say edit or modify and receive, and then it would probably bring you through every item.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And, you know, I think most of the time the prices are correct, unless, you know, it's Amazon and they change their prices every 3 hours or whatever it is. So, okay. And we are running out of time here.
Rhonda,
okay. Yes.
I'm going to put another, excuse me, another bug in the chat.
Okay.
I've been working with Jesse and Nick on testing this one, and it is automated mark record ordering process. And we started with it, but then it's dependent on some other bugs. So then we had to go back and deal with some other bugs, and then those have kind of stalled. So this hasn't really gone anywhere, but you might take a look at this, because I think the intent is to, well, I can't really explain what the intent is. It's supposed to be an improvement in ordering and receiving.
Okay.
And because I haven't dealt with it in a little while, I can't really explain it, but it's dependent on some other bugs, which I assume are probably referenced in here.
Yeah, I was just looking, it looks like depends on 35026.
Yeah. So that's the one I've been working on, that one. And it's in failed QA at the moment on that one. And it has a strange title, but I don't understand what it means. I just try to follow the test plan, but it's called Refactor Add Order ISO 2709.pl to use object methods. I have no idea what that means, but it's necessary somehow.
Okay. Okay. All right, yeah, so 34355. If you can look at that one and give your opinions about that, that would be great. Okay. All right, a couple people had to leave, and all right, so I will stop sharing. And okay, and just so you know, the koha-US .org, if you go to koha-us.org and scroll all the way down to the bottom of the homepage, there's a Koha demonstration site there that you can look at. Also, Bywater has a test site that you can use on their site. Again, way down at the bottom of the homepage, you can get access to that. So those are good to just kind of try things and see how they work, and so you don't have to do it on your own site. Okay. Well, I think we're sort of at our end of our time here. I will.
Thank you so much. Have a great day, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.